Live and broadcasting. Oh, I need my light. Hey, what's up everyone? If you're new to my channel, my name is Madeline. Happy Friday everyone. For those of you who live on the weekend, yay for us. It's been a hot minute since I've done a makeup video. This video today is kind of like the sequel of my morning routine, except that I'm gonna show you guys what I use on my face right here. It usually takes me about 15 minutes to get my face done. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you soon. So the first thing that I usually do is that I moisturize my face. I have been using Embryolisse LCC cream. It's in French, can't really read French. With this moisturizer, I tried it mainly because my skin was dry. During spring and summer, I tend to be oily, and then comes fall and winter, all of a sudden, it's like my skin was so dry. It's really good, it's hydrating. It's a good moisturizer overall and a good makeup primer. So I'll just put in a small size of it, and then I'll distribute it all over my face. Oh, and also don't forget your neck. Okay, the next product that I use is an under eye moisturizer, and this is from La Roche Posay. La Roche Posay. Am I saying it right? La Roche Posay. Okay, so I started using this under eye cream because summer and spring, my under eye, I don't know, I think I'm allergic to something, to pollen. Maybe I've gone to my doctor before, like last season, regarding about it, and the doctor just prescribed me a sort of like a steroid. He told me to like apply very minimal amount of it because it's a really strong prescription. The dryness went away, but it's just that you could tell by the texture that it's dry because you could feel it, and when you put makeup on it, you could actually tell that it's a dry area. So I purchased this and it turns out to be really good, to be honest. Yeah, no complaint on that one. It's summer now, I don't have any dryness under my eyes now, so just a small portion of it, you just distribute it under your eye. I try the patting motion as much as I can, and then I just try to massage it under my eyes. So another product that I also use on a day-to-day basis, especially when I know that it's going to be sunny throughout the day, is the Roche Posay Ultra Light with SPF 60. I've never believed in sunscreen before, but I can actually tell the difference that my complexion on my face, it doesn't turn too dark. Because you know, when you're driving, the sun is directly hitting your face. Always make sure that you wear sunscreen on your face, especially at this summer season. And my main concern is my forehead, because I know my forehead, it gets darker throughout the season just because I drive on a day-to-day basis. Basically, those are my skincare in the mornings. Then I will start the process of doing my makeup. I know I said a while back that LCC cream is also good as a makeup primer, but I mean, like, it's up to you guys. It's a personal preference. I still like to use a different primer. For my primer, I'm using the Marc Jacobs Undercover Blurring Coconut Face Primer. The first time that they released this, I have seen a lot of reviews regarding about it, a lot of raves. I went to Sephora and asked for a sample because it is freaking expensive. Like, when I use this product, I usually focus on my forehead again because I can see some wrinkles in there already. Like on this part in here, my pores are actually visible, I think. I could see them. This one basically blurs it out. It pretty much lives up to its name. Okay, so after primer, the next thing that I do is that I color correct my dark circle. It is actually one of my pet peeves because I can tell when I don't have enough sleep. It shows right away as a dark circle. I am using the Makeup Forever foundation palette. Before I put in my actual foundation, I need something to balance out these dark circles, and that salmon shade right there is what I usually use to cover my dark circles. So I would use this brush right here, and then I would just gently pat it under my dark circles. And then I would have a damp beauty sponge. I would just pat it under my eye. That is how I color correct my dark circles. And then I'm just gonna do the other side real quick in here. Now that our dark circles are finally covered, then it's time to move on to our foundation. For my face foundation, I actually combined 3 shades in this palette, depending on my complexion. So whenever I do my foundation, I actually use a buffing brush. And yes, this is what I also use as my concealer. I don't want too much product on my face. Like, I've already used a color corrector. So for me, it's either I use a concealer or I use a color correctors. I use the foundation all over my face and it works out for me. this is when the damp sponge comes in. If I feel like I put in too much foundation, that's when I use this beauty sponge. And there you go, my foundation is already done. So the next step after the foundation is that I will do my contour. The convenience of having this palette is that it's all in one. I would normally go back and forth with this two right here. So after all the cream products are done, that's when I'm going to use some powder product. A pressed powder from MAC and the Duo palette from Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour. I actually use those two products to set my under eye. The Lyric shade in the Duo palette is what I actually use to combine with the MAC Studio Fix pressed powder. When it comes to my T-zone area, I just use the MAC Studio Fix alone by itself. That's it for setting the base. So now we're just gonna set the cream contour as well that we did, and I'm just using the darker shade from the Duo palette. Then I'm just going to proceed in putting on my blush. So my go-to blush right now is the one from NYX. It's the PV34 Bittersweet. The way I put on the blush is that, you know the drunk blush technique? So yeah, that's how I usually do my blush. It somehow looks like a sunburn across your nose bridge. So it somehow suits the season. That's why. That's the technique that I've been using and I've been doing. I like to do it in a tapping motion and then do the other side in a tapping motion. And then once across my nose bridge, that's when I'm gonna do the swiping motion. Now whenever I do my nose bridge, I don't want too much of a product in there, so I just want enough product in there to show that, oh, it looks like you got a sunburn. Start off, that washes off. So once the blush is done, I'm just going to run through again with the MAC Studio Fix powder, particularly on the part wherein I put the contour and the blush, just to blend them in together. The next step is that I fill in my brows. I'm going to use the Total Temptation from Maybelline, and this is in the shade 310 in medium brown. So what I usually do is that I pretty much just trace whatever is microbladed. After this, I would probably do a little bit of my eyes. Lately, I have just been sticking to the same color and the same palette. For my palette today, I am using the Morphe 350. It's all warm shade. So those two shades right there is pretty much my transition shade. That is what I put all over my eyes as well. And then I would also use the same shade to put it under my eyes. Okay, so lately I have been into a mild smoky eye. The shades that I usually use are these two shades right here. And then pretty much I'm just gonna tap it close to the lashes and then bring it up a little bit higher. I will just go back again with my transition shade and blend them all in. Actually, let's not forget the lower eye, like the outer corner. I will just go through this shade right here, mainly focusing on the outer corner of my eye. I promise we're almost done. Okay, so obviously I can't really finish my makeup without doing some highlights on my face. So for this part, I am using the NYX Strobe of Genius Illuminating Palette. And I'm just using those two shades right here on the high points of my face. One fact about me is that I don't use mascara. I would curl my lashes, but I will not use a mascara. When it's hot, I get in my car and I'm driving. The time that I get home and I looked in the mirror, is like literally my mascara is under in here. So I would just normally curl my eyelashes. I don't usually put my lipstick on until I'm about to leave the door, but for the sake of this video, I'll show you guys what I usually use. First one is the MAC Lip Conditioner. I love this product because it's really hydrating on the lips. And then the next thing that I usually do is that I put on my lipstick. I am still using the same shade of lipstick from MAC, and it is the Velvet Teddy. This is my well-loved shade of lipstick. If you're also wanting to do your makeup in the morning, it actually helps if you set your makeup with a setting spray. It's all personal preference. It's all up to you guys of what you wanted to do. If you're wanting to adapt into the habit of like putting your makeup on in the morning, I suggest that you do it on the days that you are off, because it really takes a while before you can get used to the steps or the habits that you are trying to build. I hope you guys picked up some helpful tips that you could probably try on yourself as well. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to connect with you in my Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!